absolutely off. It was absolutely off though.
I mean, it was offsides, but I feel like you got to make a judgment call. Like just say, hey, this
Yeah,
is good vibes. We got to let it go.
I gotta
bro. I
call. I
saw
gotta phone in Gary. I gotta phone in Gary Bettman to make a call.
we gotta we gotta go to Toronto. We gotta go to the situation.
Yeah, we're taking this one to the situation room.
Oh, by the way, free flow Balogun. Free flow Balogun. Say
School
it so it's
walkout
backwards.
tomorrow. Be there.
Hey, Zaylor, Naz Reed is now a North Carolina resident. How do you feel about that?
Well, first of all, you said his fucking name
Oh,
wrong,
it's
so I'm already
Naz
pissed
Reed.
off.
Sorry,
I'm
Naz
already
Reed. My
pissed off at
bad.
you.
My bad.
Um, Second of all, at least if he went anywhere, at least it was Charlotte. Because if he went anywhere else, I don't really think I could have liked him anymore. Even though like he is probably my favorite basketball player. Like I don't know. Like if he went to some shit like Boston or Los Angeles or some bullshit, I don't know if I could have fucked with him like that no more.
See, okay, I know he was like a meme, but like, was he actually good? Like, was he actually like that?
Yeah. I mean, he's not
Yeah.
like the greatest basketball player ever, but like he went from like undrafted free agent to like consistent like your number one guy off the bench putting up like 15 points and like 7 to 8 rebounds. So
Bro, he
like
got he got a he got a beach towel out of him. That has to be something.
yeah,
Like,
also like he was probably one I think he was one of the best deep shooting bigs in the entire league. So I would say he's probably like pretty good. I don't really know if the trade was really fair because I don't know why the hell they would give up LaMelo Ball, but
I don't
now the
know,
streets of
but
Minnesota are unsafe.
man, we
exactly.
already
He
had
came
Jordan
from.
Addison. We didn't need this, bro. We already had Jordan Addison.
Y'all have the best
Um,
drivers in all professional sports now. That's crazy.
hey, at least it's not
Henry
fuck is
Ruggs.
yeah, I was gonna say at least it's not Henry Ruggs.
Dude,
No, could you imagine? Breaking news: Henry Ruggs signs a 1 year with the Vikings.
bro. He's still in
Could you
jail, man. It's gonna
He's
be a
still
exact?
in
while.
jail.
Why? What happened?
Oh,
Are we
man.
recording? We are recording. All right.
Do I have to
Did
do
Welcome.
you
the
know
the Henry Ruggs joke?
what's it
No,
called? Did you
no.
guys know that Henry Ruggs donated $140 million to charity? If you want to learn more, look up Henry Ruggs 140.
Welcome to the Coast to Coast show. Yeah, we changed it. It's the Coast to Coast show, Zaylor. I'm such a
Holy shit!
Yeah, it's the
Holy
Coast to Coast
shit!
show. Um, I that this is your host, Olin. That's Donny Waddy, and that's another recurring guest that we have
I'm
occasionally.
back.
We bring him out of the cage sometimes to do a podcast,
Free
We had to send her to
Butch.
virtually.
Montana for bad behavior, but he's
No,
back
no, no,
now.
no, no. No. I've heard Eric Tulsky said that we sent some random Canes fan in Minnesota to Montana for the Stanley Cup. That's what I heard.
That
Yeah,
was
bro.
my punishment. That's what we had to do to win.
So did you actually get to watch the game?
I actually, yeah, I low key used like my last bit of data on watching the end of the game. And everyone was like really confused as to like why like I fell out of my chair and like started like running around and like calling everyone that I knew because like I had to explain that like this is the first time I've ever seen anything good happen in my life regarding a sports team. So
Not counting Team USA. Not counting Team USA.
yeah, counting like
No, that's too easy.
local, that's too easy. That's too easy. I also have to share that with Philly, so like it doesn't count. So, no, but I mean, I would do it again. I would be stuck in the middle of nowhere, Montana, just to watch it happen again. Don't worry,
Just to watch the uniform.
I did get signal for like a couple days. I was out of signal for like 2 or 3 days, but I was able to get signal again eventually, and that's why I'm such a who was able to post for a couple days. Like there took me a couple days until like I don't know, like 3 days after to make the like I'm such a ho year end season finale post. So um
Did
I
you
would
already
do it
make the
again.
9/11 post going in?
What's it called? I had the I actually was so excited when it happened that I forgot to put the 9/11 image in front of the slideshow. So I posted the slideshow without it, and I didn't realize it until like 10 minutes later. So I had to post the image on its own. But um, honestly, I feel like it's better that way. That's Kane's heritage right now. Um,
Yeah. Kane's moments in Kane's history.
Moments in Kane. That's a new
The moment of Kane's
moments in
history.
Kane's history. In like 10 years from now, that'll be on Donny Waddy. Whenever you're like 35 years old and your parents' basement still run that account.
Dude, if I'm anywhere close to that account at 30, just shoot me.
I mean, dude, I've been on I'm Such a Aho for like this weekend on the 5th of July is the 7-year anniversary of I'm Such Aho.
I can't speak. I quit. I
He's
technically.
retired. We're talking to a
Technically.
first ballot Hall of Famer
Retired.
already.
NHL meme page Hall of Fame. Olin, look at you.
Actually, yeah, I
Wow.
think I started mine like right before the Aho offer sheet. I remember that being like the big deal going into the season.
I
I think
started
I
mine right after the 2019 playoff run, so that was like my only like motivation is that we just lost. So like, yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Biggest move of free agency, and why is it Fabian Lysell for Ivan Ivan? No, I'm kidding.
Because it's the best name in the NHL and it's
That's
yeah,
true.
it is the best name in the NHL.
Um,
Actually,
isn't it
Shakir
Yvonne?
Mukhamadullin.
I mean, probably
Shakir
he's European.
Mukhamadullin. Does anyone know how to say Shakir Mukhamadullin's name right? Am I
I'm gonna
saying it
try and
right?
say
Because
it.
I think
I'm
that's
I
gonna
a
try and
pretty
say
good
think that's
it.
name.
correct. That's way closer than I would get.
Shakir Mukhamadullin.
That sounds right. I think. Um, what's it called? I mean, I feel like Bobby or Brink is also pretty gas. I feel like that's just like
Who the fuck is
classic.
calling him that?
That's his middle name. His legal middle name is Orr.
No, it's
I,
not. No, it's not.
this is actually
Yes,
my
it
first
is.
time hearing
Yes, it
that.
is.
His middle name is
Look it up.
Orr. Why, dude?
Yes.
Why is he not playing defense?
Oh
Why
my!
is he?
It actually is. It actually is. It actually
I'm not.
is.
Yeah. His name is Bobby Orr
All
Brink.
right.
That's his legal name.
Welcome to the Coast to Coast show. I mean, this is probably the like I don't know really how to break into this because it's the off season and the cup has been awarded. We've just had the
To
draft
who?
and a
To who? Who got the cup? Who
Who
got the cup?
won?
Hartford Whalers. I'm
Oh,
technically not wrong there. I'm technically not wrong there.
they own the
Am I?
rights.
I'm technically not wrong.
The Hartford
Um,
Zaylors.
that's true. Not true. But yeah, free agency just started yesterday. It's a new league year. We're beginning in September, late September, but rosters have to be built, and that's done through the draft and free agency. Yeah, so
You want me to rip it off? I have some. I feel like it's a pretty common opinion that I have right now, but
Let's
um,
hear it.
who the fuck does Mike Greer think he is?
Okay, thank God. I was gonna bring up the Sharks too. I was also gonna bring them up.
Um,
I guess we could start with the Sharks. I mean,
yeah, no, so like I'll say this, yeah, sure the drafts are great, but like let's think about it this way. Celebrini fell into their lap. Who'd they pick this year? I already
Stenberg,
forgot.
Stenberg.
Stenberg, that's right. They got number two,
Yeah.
so they picked
They got
Stenberg.
Bearhawk too, right?
They got Verhoff and they got Lynn, which I'm gonna be honest, Stenberg landed in their lap again, but like I guess sure, good drafting that's the first round. Okay, what are we doing paying fucking Darnell Nurse and Jacob Trouba $16 million a year?
He had so much free cap space going in. He's just like, yeah,
He
let's
didn't know
spend
what to
all
do
of
with
it.
it. He got too excited.
I mean, they gave Mason Marchment 7
That,
million
yeah,
as well.
That's not
that
bad. That's
I
not
was
bad.
arguing. No, I was gonna say at first I thought the contract initially was like a 5x8. I was like, okay, that's bad. I think it's a 6.75, which is not as bad, but like I don't really like Mason Marchment as a player for reasons, but
I don't think they're a Mason Marchment away from the playoffs. Like, I don't know how much of a difference he's really going to make.
Nah, ha, 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 ha. Shut up.
just started playing
Okay.
porn on the Coast to Coast show.
No, no, my
We're getting
Amazon
freaky.
my Amazon speaker uh listening device started yapping out of nowhere.
No, but I just want to put this into perspective. On see, I get sure Darnell Nurse and Jacob Trouba are technically NHL defensemen. However, they are combined making more than Cale Makar, Devon Tays, and Quinn Hughes and Brock Faber, which
And
is
Bo Byram.
I we will get there. No, we'll get
You will
there.
get to the highest
We will
paid
get there.
defenseman in the NHL, Bo Byram.
But what are we doing? Like, I get Hughes obviously is going to get extended, and that'll jack up the price of that pairing. But like right now, Darnell Nurse and Jacob Trouba being paid more than Cale Makar, Devontae's combined, and Brock Faber and Quinn Hughes combined, which I would probably say are the two best defensive pairings in the league. I don't know if you guys really have many objections to that, but I think that's a little bit absurd. I mean, sure, Jacob Trouba's like tough and physical, and he was the captain for a while, but like, what does he even do?
For
I'm gonna be
eight and a
devil's advocate
half?
here. I'm gonna be devil's advocate. I think it makes the Sharks a playoff team. It's not gonna
Well,
be
okay, I agree. I agree because inherently anything better than that what they put out last year on defense and goaltending should be better than last year.
Yeah.
Anything they put out this year should be better. However, I don't. I'm not scared of playing the Sharks. You can easily fucking make Darnell Nurse and Jacob Trouba a traffic cone for 60 minutes. That's
Oh,
not a
that's
difficult
fair. I
job.
think Mitch Marner's licking his chops right now, seeing a Darnell Nurse
Speaking
Trouba
of,
pairing.
Speaking of another reason I brought up Mike Greer, I don't forget that Tomas Hurdle trade. That was dumb as bricks. That was dumb. What do you mean you trade like you're like I wouldn't say franchise, but like a star player, like who's like kind of embodies your team
To
to
your
your
division
division
rival,
rival for like chips and pennies and a little bit of salsa.
who's
Like,
apart from one series in 2019 has pretty much owned you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which to be fair was pretty funny that one time, and
Yeah,
it was kind of funny, but
they
like
they still they still run that shit like it's their Stanley Cup. Like it's been what 5 years now.
we know
Vegas has
you're
been to two
mad.
cup finals
We
since.
know you're mad.
I'm kidding.
Okay. I mean, it
No,
doesn't
but
get much worse than that in terms of painful losses, but you're
at
right. The
least they
fact
won
they're
a
still
Stanley
parading that.
Cup to back it up. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Like it worked out for Vegas. Not so
Um,
yeah.
much for San Jose.
but here's the thing. I guess whatever you do, if Big Money Mike is hitting your phone, pick it the fuck up because you'll probably win the deal. Um, Draft wizard by day, fucking trade terrorist by night. That's what I'll go by. I feel like there's a lot of
Yeah.
GMs who are very 50-50. They hit or miss on drafts, hit or miss in free agencies. I feel like Mike Greer has missed on almost every trade or significant trade he's made and hit on almost every significant draft pick he's had, whether that was a given lottery pick or just a late round pick. Um, I mean, he's definitely a general manager, you know?
Yeah.
It's disappointing because like I thought he was doing a decent job up until these last two seasons. Why would you go get Darnell Nurse when Dougie Hamilton was available last season for
That's
almost
what I'm
nothing?
saying. Yeah.
You could have just picked up that
That's
salary.
that's a great offensive defenseman right there. I mean, I don't know what Darnell Nurse does. I mean, I got called a racist for saying he's a bad defenseman, and I don't feel like
I mean, for the record, we love Evander Kane, so
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Whoa,
whoa,
whoa,
whoa,
whoa,
whoa,
whoa,
whoa,
whoa,
whoa,
whoa.
whoa, 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 whoa.
We
Yo,
love
calm
Anna
down,
Kane.
calm down there.
We are Team Anna.
But um, what was like? I just think I think it's gonna work out partially. I don't think Truba's that bad. It's just Darnell Nurse is kind of a head scratcher, but I think he has that, he's been to two Stanley Cup finals. Yeah, he hasn't won any of them, but I think that's going to help, when they do make the playoffs, or how like that grind because he's pretty much been the distance. He's been to a game 7 of a Stanley Cup final. He didn't win any of those cups because he's a Canadian. He was on a Canadian team, and Gary Bettman. He loves ringing in for the America. I'm kidding, but yeah, I think it's going to be helpful. It's still kind of head scratcher, and by the time that contract is like almost up, Celebrini and Will Smith and those guys are going to be due for an extension. So I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I can see why someone would hate it. Hate it.
I will say the one positive outlook is that he kind of was just a secondary assist McDavid merchant, and I guess he does kind of have his own McDavid in San Jose in the form of Macklin Celebrini. So I guess you can say maybe it'll work. Like I could see him being like on the power play too, or maybe even if they really. I don't know who else they have on defense besides Trouba and Darnell Nurse right now, but honestly,
Dmitry
he could
Orlov, that's
maybe.
about it.
What you know about
Yeah,
Dmitry Orlov?
I mean,
Unfortunately, a lot.
honestly, at that, yeah, I was gonna say, unfortunately, a little too much. But with that, like, then honestly, I could see him being the power play one quarterback there, and maybe things will work out. I don't know, but I
I
mean,
don't think.
honestly, I think.
Or
Say,
no,
go
go
ahead.
ahead, finish.
I was gonna say is like I think I could see that working out because that's kind of what he was in Edmonton is just run the power play. I mean, if he can get the puck to Macklin Celebrini or whatever William they didn't trade, I think they'll be in pretty good shape.
I don't
I
think he's a
still
bad
think
defenseman by any means, but his contract is just awful. So it kind of undervalues him. Like I think he still has some good games left. It's just why would you help out Edmonton? Why would you give up value? Also, like I'm not even gonna attempt to say his name, but M Man is not a bad player. He's a really good bottom sixer. Like I wouldn't have given that up. I would have had Edmonton attach a pick or something. Taking
what
their
was the
Why aren't we saying his name?
Shakir
I can't.
Mukhamadullin?
I don't know. I'm gonna mess up the
Oh,
pronunciation.
Shakir
Mudhalukin,
Mukhamadullin.
whatever his name is.
Shakir Mukhamadullin.
Mukamadulin.
That's my
Respect.
best attempt. That's my best attempt.
No, but
Um, I'll say this about the Sharks. I think one of their best trades was one that happened right before the draft. That was the Eklund deal. I think that was pretty good. You got a top
Yeah,
10 pick, screwed over the Canucks, which is funny because I think if they didn't make that trade, I think they would have gone D at two, and then the Canucks get Stenberg. But I actually don't think they would have taken the Stenberg at all at three. I think they were going for the nepotism pick and Caleb Maholtra right there. But uh,
I don't get that,
I
man.
mean, it's still very funny. But I
I
think
was
that was great business by Greer, and I don't think he's a bad GM, but he just makes there's some decisions, mostly trade wise, are like questionable.
I
Yeah,
was initially kind of confused because I saw the trade at first. I was like, are they really giving up Eklund? I didn't think they would really do that. I think that could be a win-win trade. I don't know. I think Eklund is going to be pretty good for Ottawa. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it was Ottawa,
Um.
right? I'm not wrong with
Yeah, it
that.
was Ottawa,
yeah.
Okay.
and yeah, Ottawa who got Brady Kachuk. I think we already made an episode about that. I think we did,
Oh
didn't
man,
we?
Yeah, we
That was the
talked
the
about
last
it
one.
last
literacy rates in Florida are in shambles.
They were already in shambles, my guy. They just got worse.
They're even more shambles.
time.
Um, but let's talk about the Oilers. Let's pivot from the team that Darnell Nurse was traded from. The Oilers hired Mike Babcock.
Interesting.
I
Ethan
I
Lev's kind
I could see this like this honestly so 50-50. I could see this like going so perfectly for them, and I could also see it just blowing up in their faces. And I kind of have a feeling it's the latter is going to happen. Like I think they might start off pretty good until like March they start stumbling a bit, and they just stumble in the playoffs and get beaten by a team that's hitting or like finding their stride in the right moment, while the Oilers are just caught slacking. I kind of feel like that's the issue because Mike Babcock hasn't won a playoff series in how long? What
a lot
2014 was the last one?
while.
Yeah,
Yeah, Detroit
oh
days.
wow. Yeah, and I just think it's not even talking about like the things that went down in Columbus. It's like he's he's not built for today's NHL. he's not built for the speed. Like he's not built for like it's not the game that he was used coaching to. Like that's the best I could put it.
Yeah.
Like it's a very offensive heavy, speed, skill dominated game. Yeah, the physicality's still there, but it's not what it used to be back in the 2000s where it was just big hits, bare knuckle fighting, all that. It's not the same, and I just don't think it's not gonna work out well. It might work, but there might be like a honeymoon period at the beginning of the season where it looks like it's going well, but then like at post trade deadline, depending on what the moves they make, I can see it just blowing up.
I mean, their goaltenders are going to be Tristan Jarry and Frederick Anderson.
Oh
So I
yeah.
feel like this season might have disaster written all over
When
it.
I saw that the Oilers signed Anderson, I'm like, oh, Vegas is good. Like that might be 4 goals every game if he plays against Vegas.
And it's only because Babcock loved Anderson. Like he ran that
Yeah,
man into the ground when he was in
yeah.
Toronto. And yeah, I think you're right. Like the play style just doesn't work. And with a roster like Edmonton's, you really need like a good coaching system. Like you
Hmm.
need defensive structure, else that team is just going to flounder. I mean, you have Kasperi Kapanen in the top six. Like they need a game plan here. And Babcock's just going to go in there and tell everybody off or look through their phones or whatever he does.
They did do some
My
good business.
thing,
I like the Ryan Shea contract. That's some good business right there. I think that's not bad.
my thing with this is that, well, it's just recycling the same old. Say it's not work. And it's for Edmonton. It's been the same thing for the past like 5 years, and the more they're just gonna recycle a coach, recycle. They're just throwing them out, taking them back, the old Yeller style. It's nothing changes. I don't think anything's gonna change here. This is
And
not
it
a
should be
coaching
mentioned that
move.
they're kind of on the clock too with McDavid
Yeah,
specifically.
They
no,
got 2 years.
because he signed that team friendly deal. He's like, I'm signing for less than my market value. Get me a cup or I'm out. Then that's what it is. This is they really. If they can somehow pull this off with Mike Babcock, great. And I'm wrong, but like this just seems like another recycled bin hire that they need something to fill in. And there's this guy that was good a while, whatever. I could go on about the coaching recycling market, but this just isn't, to me, this isn't going to fit the system. This is going to be another year of McDry just carrying the ever living load out of that team and just sucking it dry, and then they're just going to fall
McDry
back in.
carrying and Bouchard offensive zone turnovers.
Man, my gang so Bouchard, they turn the puck over, man. That's how they do. No,
I
but
think
I don't see this
I think for
working.
the betterment of the Oilers, they gotta convince Bouchard to become a wing. I think for the
Yeah,
betterment
that's
of
the
the
only.
Oilers.
Honestly, I could see that. Yeah,
Have you guys noticed that the last five Oilers coaches, all of their names could be a
have
dick joke?
penis.
Yeah. Babcock,
No,
Knobloch,
well,
Woodcroft,
bro.
Tippett, and then what was it? Hitchcock. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, let's bring in a whole new
They just
definition
be
for the
loving
Oilers. I can tell you
penis in
that.
Edmonton. They just be loving. Oh, oh.
They're
Crazy,
oiling it.
crazy, crazy because it's Alberta.
They just be loving penis in Alberta, bro. That's what I'm telling you.
um, let's see. Let's talk about another. No, we're not talking. We'll get to the Knights later because I do have some words. But how about let's talk about the Blue Jackets. Oh boy. Oh boy. So,
You know it's going well when you have to release a statement. You know it's going
so
well.
for those who have been living under a rock for the past few days, Werenski was pretty much the number one trade target up until night one or the night before free agency eve, where there was a trade in the works to send him to the Dallas Stars and he rejected it last minute. And then during free agency, he says he wants to stay in Columbus. What I felt like when the rumors started, he could have just easily said, "I don't want to be traded." Just stop the root plant from growing. Instead, he let it grow until it almost like burst into a flower. Then he sipped the bud. That's what I'm saying. But it's weird. That's just my 2 cents on it.
Here, I'll throw in kind of. I don't know if this is a very common perspective. I kind of inherently see where this whole thing came from because I think he's been loyal to the city of Columbus. I think he's been the staple of their franchise for the past 10 years that he's played there. I think what probably happened with Don Waddell is like, okay, listen, like if we're not contending, we will find you a spot if you want to be moved. However, if you don't want to move and you want to stay, sure. And I can believe that. And obviously I'm biased, but I'm really happy that trade didn't work out. But I think it kind of got a little bit blown out of proportion.
I
I
agree.
think I think this is a scenario of a mediocre team has a star player. They can deal their star player for picks or resources or whatever, and they have the opportunity to do it. They found an opportunity, and the player said no. And I think it's nothing more really than that. Um, yeah, I don't think this should be viewed as Zach Werenski is some vicious traitor to the city of Columbus and like whatever. But no, I think it's kind of I guess just the world of social media where everything kind of gets out before it's really in actually true or like coming together or all that. Um, and let's just say I'm a huge Zach Werenski fan now that he vetoed a trade to Dallas. So
That I will
um,
say it was
put
funny
that
that we get to dunk on Dallas for a minute.
Yeah, no, and I really do like doing that because I we got to do that earlier when they somehow lost a series to a team that hadn't won a series in like a decade. So also by the way, might I mention after talking all that shit about how they were the better franchise, by the way. Um, so unfortunately, it seems really sad that a franchise that is owned by Michael McCarron is really stooping to this level of depraved like sadness over this incident. Um, I think they just need to get better and not be first round exits every year.
Back to Columbus, Don Waddell has completely fumbled the situation.
Yeah.
Because the story goes, he asked Brzezinski, are you gonna stay after your contract's over? He says, I don't know, and then he's like, okay, we gotta shop him, we gotta trade him out, and then Marchenko requests out, and he has to put out that stupid statement. Donnie, lock in, bro. I don't know who you're leaking
You
this
are
to.
Donnie. You lock
No,
in.
no, that's not me. I'm not in charge of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Don Waddell needs to lock it down. Whoever is leaking this information out too, bro, you got to kill him. You got to kill him in front of Nationwide Arena. Like
I
it's
will
the
say
only way,
this
bro.
because, and like I said, we'll talk about the Golden Knights. The Golden Knights, they have that shit. They have that shit tight. They have it locked up. Because like
Bro, it
I
needs to
heard
be.
I heard in 2022, like they purposely put out like fake information, just see like who would get it leaked out, and they fire the employee like that. Like, ooh. But
That is insane.
yeah. But I'll say this is like I I think it's kind of better that like Rowinski is staying, but at the same time he's also on the clock because he has an expiring deal soon. Like either he needs to like make up his mind because he said he's staying. I don't really believe it. I think things can change on a dime in the NHL. We've seen it many times before, but
Do we
he's
expect
got to make up
Columbus
his
to make the
mind.
playoffs this year or next
No,
season?
they might be wild card at best, but
Yeah, I'm not seeing it, man. I think he gets traded next season.
or deadline. He could be a deadline move. We'll see.
Can you imagine?
If it gets really bad in Columbus at the deadline, I could see him saying he wants to trade out at the deadline.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that.
I don't think
Uh,
it'll get that bad, but like
Columbus is
I don't know.
Columbus is too good to be that bad, but
They're
it can
mid.
go so wrong. We've seen it
they're
so many
Straight up
perennials.
times.
mid.
Yeah. Um. Let's talk about the Wild, and let's start off with the arguably the biggest piece of news today outside of Ovechkin staying was that Jake Middleton, a second, third, and fourth to the Calgary Flames for 50% of Blake Coleman and Oli Mata to the Minnesota Wild. Thoughts on that, Zaylor?
Now, I gotta, I gave some thrash to Dallas fans. I gotta thrash on the Minnesota fan base as a Minnesotan myself. Man, some of y'all are dumb. Like this, all right. Like, like okay, come on.
Really
Like
good trade.
let's look at it this way. Um, in my opinion, so do you mind if I just kind of like cover the general free agency sphere of like what's happening in Minnesota right now?
Yeah,
Just
go
as
ahead, but
they,
start with the Coleman trade though.
yeah. So we flip the guy. Obviously, he's a great guy, a sexy mustache, and a hunk of a human being.
Pixar
Sure,
dad.
Pixar dad, lovely. But man, he got fucking worked by Nathan McKinnon, bent over and smacked all throughout that series. And yeah, no, it was time. Um,
Yeah.
it was time, and throwing in a couple picks to get Blake Coleman for 2.5 million a year to slot in the middle six, and then Ali Mata to replace Jake Middleton. And Ali Mata is defensively sound, unlike Jake Middleton. Even though he's not a great skater, he's defensively sound and he's an experienced player. I think you take that move all the time. There's been a lot of conversation about Bill Guerin since he's won the Jim Gregory for the general manager of the year. First, people were on him about the whole Bobby Brink thing, which was just, let's be honest here, guys. He just wanted to shave off money on like, it was either he qualifies Bobby Brink or he doesn't, knowing that he can get Bobby Brink for less money. And that's what he did. Like, great. Because
Right.
I would much rather have Bobby Brink for 2.7 than 3.5. So that money is everything on a cup contending team. And then I get we love Zuccarello and Tarasenko, but let's face it, Zuccarello is going to be 39. Tarasenko is going to be 35. Come on. This team needs to get younger to compete. This is what we've been saying for years. One of the oldest rosters in the NHL. That's the reason they kind of run out of momentum every year. They got to get younger. And now that we're finally doing it, we have people complaining because we're getting rid of the fan favorites. I get it. People love their players, but from a roster move, also everyone's like, oh, 1 million for Zuccarello. Then you look at the kick of it, of the 5 million bonus, and it's like we weren't matching that with our cap space.
Then
It's
again, you said
it's
you
a
guys got to get
game.
younger. You said
Yeah.
you guys got to get younger. Then you traded for 34-year-old Blake Coleman, though. That's what I mean.
Well, okay, see it from that perspective, but I'd rather have a productive 34-year-old and Ali Mata than a not Jake Middleton. You know?
Nah, fair.
Yeah. And be fair, Zuccarello, Tarasenko, and Johansson leaving gets rid of 3 35-plus-year-old players on our roster. So, I'm sure they were all great, but like Zuccarello's again going to be 39. This is probably going to be his last season in the NHL. Tarasenko, well, he had flashes. He's still Tarasenko. He's 35. He's not St. Louis 2019 Tarasenko anymore. And
Has he gone anywhere?
No, I
No,
don't
to
think
my
so.
knowledge, not yet. And Marcus Johansson was actually outscoring Austin Matthews for a large chunk of this season. So that was a pretty good, I feel like that was for only a league minimum. That was a great 1-year deal, but I think he wanted to go back home, and power to him. He had a pretty good NHL career. So I think at the end of the day, now is the time to bring in guys like Height and Stramel all into the lineup and actually, give Yurov and Brink elevated minutes and stop plugging the top six with, Zuccarello, Johansson, and Tarasenko. So obviously I get people the question marks and all that, and people will still question the Kirill deal. It's going to be a rough couple sleddings these first couple years, but again, the cap is going to go up. $17 million in 2025 is going to be a lot different than $18 million in 2030. So, I think
It's a
people
dog
just
shit
need to.
contract, dude. It's a dog shit contract. They paid him way too much compared to where the
No,
market's at.
he's
Yeah, for
he's the
Kirill.
he's
17
the
mil.
he's the only reason you say that is because McDavid took a team friendly deal. Like,
Even McKinnon's only making 14
I mean, you
or
got to
13 and
give.
a half.
I don't know. Here's the thing is, you got to give your franchise motor money, and I get it. I really sure you can say they overpaid, but like 15, whether 15 or 17 is not really, it's you got to give your guy money because it was either they give him money or someone else is going to give him that money. So,
Right.
No one else was going to match that. So you got to do something where, I can't say it's a bad contract because you got to give your fucking star player all the money in the world to make sure, because then it's Minnesota. We're going to have another Kevin Garnett. We're going to have another Sam Darnold. We're going to have whatever. And we're tired of it. We want our guy to be our guy for his entire career, as long of it as possible, and to be his best while he's here. And people are saying taking away Zuccarello is like, well, getting rid of his best friend, his playmaker. We need to actually see a year, and this is where I can start to agree with you. Is if this year goes terribly wrong, that our star player was really banking off a 39-year-old Norwegian for his entire career, then we might have some conversations about $17 million looking like a bad deal. And I can see that happening, but I'm not saying it will. But I think from that perspective, people are overreacting because Zuccarello is either going to retire at the end of the next year, probably anyway. So like we're only missing out on 1 year of the last year of his career, which will probably be one of the lesser productive ones. So, I think from that perspective, like I think what they're doing is just fine, and I think Kaprizov needs to mesh. The problem is Zuccarello meshes with Kaprizov. Zuccarello didn't mesh with anyone else really, so Kaprizov. Hopefully, this is the year that where Kaprizov has to prove that he's the $17 million man. And again, I'm going to say until things go dramatically south, I'll say it's not that bad of a deal for now. Because again, cap's going up. Got to pay your superstar guy. Don't want him going anywhere else. Don't want him going to Dallas. Don't want him going to Vegas. Don't want him going anywhere else. So, I think Bill Guerin's keeping the team in the right place. I think the next mission is figuring out what cap room we have and what to do with Quinn Hughes this upcoming year. And that'll be obviously a challenge that we'll see in the upcoming year. So we'll see how that goes.
You got to
I
get him
am
a sign
terrified
extension.
of that contract.
You
Of
got to
what
get him
that's
a
gonna
sign
look
it.
like. He might get 20 million.
I don't think so. I'd
I
be
don't think
shocked if it's
20,
anything over.
but I could see Kirill money. But I don't
Yeah,
think,
I think that's
Yeah.
fair.
And that'll
That's
even with the
fair.
rising cap, that'll be like a third of the cap space taken up by two guys.
like, yeah, which isn't ideal, but I guess
Yeah, just wait till they get Jack and Luke from New
at
Jersey at
least
some point.
at least we weren't Toronto with the big four. I'll put it that way. So
Well, true.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're
that
investing
But
was
again,
in
Minnesota's not Toronto by any means.
no. So I think what Bill Guerin has done, at least the first 2 days of it, because again, the draft was non-existent for the team because we're win now, throw all the picks out, win now. I'm not too worried about if our drafts and our pool is that good. We have a couple guys that would bring into the lineup that are solid pool guys, but like our pool isn't supposed to be deep right now because we're trying to win the cup. So I'm not too worried about that. I think we've developed our talent. I think this year's a really, I think, hit or miss year. I think it will determine probably the next 10 years. I think they really, honestly, I don't want to say it, but I feel like this is probably the year. If you want to win it, you got to do it because,
yeah.
you won't have the Hughes extension to worry about this year for this contract year. And, you have pretty much all of your core guys under contract right now. Boldy, Faber, Kaprizov, everyone that's important. And also, Spurgeon and Brodin are going to be getting older. So I think with that being said, I think this is kind of gotta be the year. I don't blame Bill Guerin one bit if he keeps throwing picks because I think this is the year they got to go all in and get it done. And I think at least the depth of Ollie Mata and Blake Coleman over Jake Middleton will help with that. So
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the Vegas Golden Knights, which in a way we'll get into this later. This kind of affects the Minnesota Wild too, just because of the rumors that have been thrown around. But we'll see.
I
But
didn't
we'll
even
see
mention
about
that.
that.
Yeah, we'll
We'll
talk
see.
about
We'll
that.
see
Don't
about that.
worry.
So draft night happens. I have to pull the footage from Twitch because I think that's gold right there. My instant raw reaction to the Dorofeyev trade was
It was
captured
so
live on
funny.
Twitch. Oh, it probably was. It wasn't funny for me at the time, trust
Oh
me.
my God,
But
dude, you screamed like you saw someone get hit by a car.
I
Like 10.
basically did. I basically did.
I haven't seen this because I was in Montana.
You
Yeah,
basically
but
just went, no. Oh,
yeah, we traded a 35 plus goal scorer for draft picks, which I'll be honest, it's kind of grown on me. It's just one big problem. Who the fuck is gonna shoot the puck next season? Because Jack Eichel won't. He scored 2 goals off playoffs. I don't want he not shooting the puck. Marner,
He's
I
supposed to be our
mean,
number one.
and you're playing like a bum. But um yeah, no, trading Dorofeev away, I think it's gonna age a little better because now that I think Kelly McCrimmon put it best, it put assets back into the Golden Knights, system with draft picks, and I think we have a lot more assets to, give around in trades and all that, which fair play, I guess. I just it just still stings losing your top goal scorer for the past couple of seasons. And I know a guy, I think Ben, has been on the podcast a few times. I think he put it the best way. It's not a bad trade, but it's a sad trade, and I really would have loved to see Dorofeev play the rest or a huge chunk of his career as a Golden Knight. Now we're getting to this part where I'm like, okay, it's not that bad. 7/11 is nuts. Seven
I
by
was gonna
eleven
say
is like atrocious. Like,
that's way too much
oh
for because he doesn't really, as good as Dorofeev is, he doesn't drive play all that much.
no,
He's more of a finisher, and
yeah.
we need to circle back to the Rangers
hmm
eventually
Real
because
quick, real quick.
I think what they've been doing is a travesty. Makes no
Yes,
sense.
but yeah, back to Vegas. It sucks that we had to give up a guy who I really wanted to spend a majority of his career at minimum in Vegas because he scores goals. Like I thought he had a big breakout playoff performance. I was like, okay, this is what I was hoping for. Let's put pen to paper right now. Sign him to an extension. Of course, trade him away for picks. All the rest of that night after trade, I was expecting, okay, Larkin, Hellebuck, Werenski, something big has to be coming. Nothing ever did. We made the draft pick at 29th after trading back 3 times. Like, okay, we didn't trade the pick. What are we doing? Fast forward to day one of free agency. Actually, fast forward to I think yesterday, last or like the night before, or a few nights before. Bang! There goes Caden Korzak to Pittsburgh for Parker Wotherspoon, which I think that's not bad. We lose a right hand D, but
Half retained on a $1 million deal is
it's
really
so
funny.
stupid. It's so stupid, but I like it.
this
I
I
is
mean,
a
it
like
works
great
it.
for
little
you.
Yeah. I like it. He had a hit on Will Smith during a game. I think that was that one game where the Sharks came back and like crazy, but that was still funny. That's good enough for me. That's good enough for me. um, and then like kind of like the big signing was one. Actually, no, there's one I'm forgetting. There's Jeremy Lozon for 6x4, which okay, I'm okay with 4 million. I think that's not too bad. 6 years though, that's kind of a head scratcher
That's a
to
lot of
me
Jeremy
at least.
Lozon.
That is a lot of Jeremy Lozon. And then the big piece was Rasmus Anderson, 7x8.5. I'm like, 7 more years of Rasmus Anderson, which I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Knights defensemen usually play like ass their first time in Vegas. So fingers crossed that he ends up playing better throughout the contract. And that contract does look better after seeing Darnell Nurse and Jacob Trouba on the Sharks now. So I feel better about that already. And then a guy who I really wanted to sign in Vegas because I thought he played well because it was a guy we had before, Victor Olofsson. I didn't think he was that bad. He had like 15 goals his 1 year in Vegas. Brought him back on a 1 year deal again, like that. Heard Mark Gatcombe to a 2 year deal. I heard he's a pretty good fourth liner. Pretty hyped about that. And then Coughlin back. That's kind of like the major business done by Vegas on day one of free agency.
And they sent away
Then
Colasar.
yeah, Colasar traded away too. That one
Oh,
kind of stung.
Demon
That
Don.
that
that's gotta
Demon
hurt.
Don.
that one kind of hurt, but they freed up a bunch of salary, probably to sign Lozon and Anderson. But I feel like, and I kind of like, I think it's just kind of the sentiment that Vegas has built up over the years. Like there always has to be something else going on. And the rumor for since the Stanley Cup final was Minnesota and Vegas were both in for Larkin. And I've seen the argument, oh, that since Vegas traded away Dorofei, it's like, oh, Vegas doesn't have a lot of assets to give up now. I don't think that's true. I think Vegas, in theory, I just had to make sure that wasn't a trade. I had a, in theory, like I think Vegas can make a better package because reportedly Detroit wants uh Matt Boldy. There's no way Minnesota's giving up Boldy. There's
No, that's
no
where
way
Bill Guerin
Minnesota's
gets
gi-
fired.
That would not be a good
Yeah,
trade.
no. It's like right now, it's like I think since Vegas is now starting to hoard assets through, the Dorofeev deal, the Colasar deals, all the little side deals that Vegas has been making. That's where I'm starting to think like, okay, I think Vegas is gonna like play the waiting game. Like eventually, either Dylan Larkin's gonna get traded, or either gonna wait longer. That's that's kind of like the way I see it right now. Like, yes, Steve Yzerman wants a hockey trade, but if he reportedly wants either Minnesota or Vegas, and I know he had the Florida Panthers in there, and technically Dallas could still probably could come in there with like the Robertson pack. I don't think Dallas will do that,
I hope
but
I hope they do it, but I don't think they will.
but I think Vegas right now could offer the better package for Larkin,
What would the offer be?
and it it's tough though because you would I think that Hurdle would have to go soon, would have to go
Yeah.
not to Detroit, but like in another deal. And I think Minnesota would be a decent destination for Hurdle. Say he wanted to
I
go,
hope not.
but I don't know. It's kind of complicated because I think Vegas is just trying to play the long game because eventually I think Yzerman will have to honor that request or by some miracle convince Larkin to stay.
Yeah, back to camp champ.
Yeah. If I'm
But
Yasmin, that's what I'm saying to him. Because it's like you gave us a 3-team list. Either expand this shit or you're gonna be in
and
training camp.
I honestly think Larkin will be waiting to play the waiting game as well. If I'm
Yeah.
being completely honest, he could. I think he's willing to like wait it out. I think he'll start the season with Detroit. And I think he might be gone at the deadline. It's like it's gonna be reaching at a fever point where it's
He
like,
he might
okay,
get booed on opening night by Detroit fans. I
oh,
mean,
he
they're
If he's
definitely
not
there,
will.
yeah.
happy with him.
Yeah, if he's there. But I still think he'll
Yeah.
start the season there. I think I heard they already stripped the captaincy from him, which is crazy. And I'm not trying to like dog on Larkin. It does like make sense that he wants out. Like he's been there for what 11 years, hasn't seen the playoffs in
The Wiser
X amount of years
plan.
as well. The Iser plan is in it's something, but I think the bigger thing I want to focus on is goaltending for the Golden Knights, and it comes from a press conference like after the day one of free agency where Kelly McCrimmon's talking. He's like he likes the direction of the goaltending is in, which it's something because Aiden Hill was floated around rumors pretty much since the season ended after Torts put all his like I was at
Thank you,
but
Tortorella. Thank you, Tortorella.
yeah. It seems like the Knights have their confidence in Aiden Hill, or like they're confident that he could get back to that. I just kind of find it mind buzzing because you were like the rumors were he's been floated around, and like I said, things can change, but he's been floated around rumors pretty much since this season ended, and you haven't made a deal. Why? Is there something like I know his contract's stupid. Like,
How much does he make?
like 6 million, six plus,
There's a couple more years left on it, right?
like 5 years? Like, this is the first year of
Oh
the
my
deal,
God. Yeah, they're gonna have to attach an asset. They want to get rid
which
of
I'm
that.
perfectly fine with, which maybe that's why Vegas, acquired all these assets. Like,
Yeah.
you could yeah toss a couple third rounders like another team's like I like if they're having difficulty finding a partner, then how did the rumors get out? Or was it just speculation by insiders? Which I think it's honestly might be the latter. That it's speculation for insiders because like I said, Vegas keeps that ship tight. Um, it seems like the goaltending trio. I'm counting the starter, backup, and a third option will be Hart, Hill, and Lindbaum. And I just got to think if Aiden Hill was to be traded, it probably would have happened by now. Not saying it's not going to happen in the future, but I think it probably would have happened by now because Vegas has been very like quick. Is like, hey, listen, you'll take this guy off our hands for two considerations. Prospect that we'll never use, that's fine. I just think that there's something that's really huge holding them back from making the deal for Aiden Hill. And I think if I were, because like I heard Florida for Aiden Hill was possible, but eventually they didn't. Florida didn't go that route. I heard. I'm now thinking because like Pittsburgh. Give me a second. Pittsburgh. I think their only goalie right now is Artur Shilovs.
Yeah,
So
they have some AHL goalie that I think had a couple NHL games, but nothing sustainable.
yeah, but like I wanted to make sure this was true. But like yeah, Pittsburgh has 25 billion in cap space still. Maybe Pittsburgh for Aiden Hill if they could get like a package going like that. But
I can see
I don't
it.
know if McCrimmon was just trying to save face by saying, "Oh, we're just going to keep our guys." I still don't like. I still think something huge is in the works.
I
It's just a
agree.
matter of when it's going to happen because it could happen like
It's Vegas,
tomorrow
man. They're,
or it could
they're gonna do
happen
something.
at deadline. Yeah. But overall, I'm a bit mixed on Vegas's offseason. Like, there's some positives, some negatives. I just don't really know what to make of it.
I
And
will say something that you threw on the Jeremy Lazan thing is a term I've started using is I think with the cap going up, I think a lot of GMs are getting way too term happy with some of these contracts to appeal to the players. And
yeah,
I think some of these really bad, these like I'm not saying Jeremy Lazan contract is going to be a terrible contract or anything,
it's not
but
going to be.
it's we're seeing a lot more of these deals where it's like a low AAV, high mileage on years, and in some cases you can make it work, but the more that starts becoming common, the more we're going to see really bad deals being thrown out because GMs think they can get away with it with rising cap and term values. So
Yeah, yeah. Um,
I think overall, I think Vegas has made, generally speaking, most of the right moves to stay competitive. So we'll have to see. Maybe they do make a big move with whether that be Hill, Larkin, or whatever. But I think they're in a good spot to run it back next year. I think
I will
Dorofeyev loss
say,
is going to sting, but
oh yeah, and I'll add on to that. I honestly think if maybe DeBrincat might be the better get from Detroit than Larkin
Mm,
because
that's
I think
DeBrincat's
he's better.
yeah,
He is
no,
just better.
I think DeBrincat just makes a better fit for Vegas. Like there was rumblings online that Vegas is gonna get Robertson. We don't have enough money to pay Robertson. As much that would I would laugh my ass off if that ever happened if Vegas ever got Robertson.
That
But
would be pretty funny.
I just think DeBrincat might be a better get for Vegas. Like you keep I don't think you have to make that better of an offer for Larkin than you would for DeBrincat. Uh, Relatively cheap cap hit. You could probably get, and I think he's due for an extension starting next offseason. So you could probably get him for not that bad of a price, and then maybe have Detroit retain a little bit, just so you can get him in your books. But I think DeBrincat might be a better fit than Larkin for Vegas. Get Larkin to Minnesota. Let's have a Vegas Minnesota State Western Conference final. But
See, I feel like the only problem is that I don't know if Detroit would be willing to move to Brinkett if they're actively shopping out Larkin because he actively is being a problem.
because
Like
I
I don't know
heard
if
like I've read that's like if Larkin goes, then DeBrincat would be like going like soon after. That's what I've heard and
unless
read.
Detroit does a full on fire sale, I
At
don't
this
know if
point, they
they'd
might
be
have
willing.
to. At this point, they might
Yeah,
have.
I,
They're closer to a fire sale
yeah,
to the playoffs.
And at this point, the fire sale should probably include Steve Weiserman. Yeah, we've been over that, but it
Yeah,
has to
it needs
happen.
to start with him, 100%.
But yeah, I think the Golden Knights have done decent business. I'm not too happy. I'm not too mad about it though. It's decent business. I'll give it at that. I think Vegas will be judged on how, when that big move happens because it's coming. I just don't know what it is. I just feel like that's simple as.
Can I talk about Carolina's offseason?
The really big
Um,
and exciting offseason.
yeah, the big
There
Hurricanes
is
offseason of moves galore.
nothing. There's nothing left, dude.
Where were you for the Kyle Masters pass around sweepstakes?
Trading a sixth round pick and Kyle Masters for the negotiation rights to John Carlson. Don't get him signed. He goes to Tampa for the same money you were offering him. And then for some reason you get Kyle Masters back. What a masterclass of moves.
W.
The
Tulsi.
only that W Tulsi, I mean, it's like, okay, I'm okay with it because there's nobody I would move off the roster right now. Like, I don't think it really makes sense. And it
Not
seems
even
like
a
the only
Keishan.
name that's going to leave is Alexander Nikishin. And look, I love Nikishin. If he's asking for $8 million, yeah, he's got to go. He's got to go. There's no way, man. No, like Nikishin's really good. He's probably going to develop into a good, second pair guy, power play quarterback. Dude, if he and his agent are already complaining about his playing time being on the third pair on a year where you won the fucking Stanley Cup, he does not want to be here. I mean, that it's just so obvious to me that he after seeing every other player take a discount, as seeing Stankoven and Blake and Aho and Slavin, they all take discounts. And Nikishin's like, okay, let me just grab up as much money as I frickin' can from this team. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. Hopefully they get a little short-term extension for him. Maybe like 2 years, 6 million would be fine.
Honestly, that wouldn't be that. I just think that's the best case scenario.
Yeah.
Bridge
But if
deal.
if they can't get him long term and he's still asking for 8, $9 million, you might be better off just finding a trade partner. I saw St. Louis out there, so I don't know if that would be like a trade for Robert Thomas. That'd be the
Justin
only one that
Falk
would make sense
2.0.
to me. That's who 2.0?
Justin Falk.
Yeah, literally, it's the reverse Justin Falk trade, bro. We're back. They traded for him right after they won the cup, and then we traded for Robert Thomas right after we won the cup. It's cinema.
I can see it. Zaylor frozen?
But yeah,
No,
I
he's
really
not.
don't think they're gonna do anything big. Like I know they tried to trade
Not
for to
even not even
Chuck.
Hellebuck.
No, I think they're out. I don't think they have the assets to do it because like if Winnipeg rejected that trade package from Buffalo with a fourth overall pick, I don't even know what we trade. Like it'd have to be Nikishin, Kochetkov, Nadeau, and then picks, and I don't think that gets it done, personally.
Yeah. Um, Looks like we lost Zaylor for a minute. Don't
He's
know if we're
back in
getting him
Montana.
back. Yeah. He's back in Montana. We're gonna keep it light and short. What moves stuck out on you? Any trade or signing that stuck out to you?
This is it stuck out in a really bad way. Um, a first round pick for Marcus Pettersson is really odd, man. Top 10 protected, sure, but I think it was like a 2030 first
We
round
got
pick.
2030 first round pick.
Yeah, see that makes no sense to me at all.
That far
Um,
ahead, that's crazy.
yeah. Yeah. I don't okay, I don't know if I dislike or like this signing. I haven't really formed my full opinion on it. I'm leaning a little closer to it's not going to work out. Sergei Bobrovsky, 3 years, $7 million
Oof.
dollars.
Yeah, that one's steep. That's
Has
steep. Oh, hold on. Looks like we rejoin. We have
is he
Zaylor
back?
again.
Oh wow, double Zaylor in the call now.
Yeah, computer died. Oopsies. Forgot to
Can I
put it
can I
in
kick can I
Discord.
can I kick your other person?
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna be phoning for the rest of the
Zaylor, what are your thoughts on Marcus Pettersson for a 2030 first round pick?
not great.
Your mic's covered. We can't hear you.
Oh, is it? Oh wait, it's because I'm not connected to the pods and I didn't even realize it. Hold on.
Oh my God. But yeah,
Losing it
I feel
again.
like that Bobrovsky contract is not gonna age well. I mean, he does not have good regular seasons, and they got him for the
Yeah.
playoffs. Playoffs are not a guarantee for that roster right now. Like I kind of like
Yeah.
the other stuff they did. I like Roslovic. I like
Radish.
Duane. Yeah, okay, Radish got way too much money for what he's provided so far, but I think he's a good player. So
Yeah.
and that's kind of what they needed.
Of course,
That
McKenna.
yeah, McKenna's going to be an injection into the lineup. I, but the Atlantic is just so good. Like
Yeah.
other than Detroit at this point, assuming Detroit has to move off of Larkin and maybe DeBrincat, every team is trying to make the playoffs. And
Mhm.
I don't know if Toronto's done enough to get ahead of that pack.
I know. I
Another.
want to circle back here. We can circle back to this real quick. Why do we keep trading first round picks for Marcus Patterson?
Hold on,
Why?
bro. Your mic's fucked even more fucking
No,
now.
You sound like
You
an
know,
alien.
you sound like an alien, bro.
What did you do?
I put on the pods.
You
Okay,
gotta take
take
him
out the
out. You
pods,
gotta take
bro.
him out.
You sounded better
Am I
before. Just
am I
don't cover
okay?
your mic and you're
Yeah,
good.
you're good. You're
Am I
good. You're
okay?
good. You're good. Yeah.
Yeah. Why do we
Okay,
keep
say that
trading,
again.
guys? Why do we keep trading first round picks for fucking Marcus Pettersson?
Dude,
Why?
Vancouver, when they got him from Philly, gave up the 12th overall pick to get him. Like
Stupid.
he's like the Paul George of the NHL, where he just gets like massive trade packages for no reason.
Uh, a move that stood out to me was Gudis going back to the Panthers. Oh boy, it's gonna be so fun playing the
I'm
Panthers
so
next
Agree,
year.
pissed off
egregious
right now.
cap circumvention, dude. 6 years. Come on.
Is this the new capser? Are we gonna see Mark Stone 7 by 1.5 starting next offseason? Oh boy.
I'm so, this is that term happy bullshit. Man, they got the Kachucks, both of them now. They got Radko Gudas. They got like every super squad of fucking like I'm gonna kill your entire team type players. I am so mad right now.
And then
We
there's
need
Jacob
to
Markstrom.
eradicate the Florida Panthers.
Yeah. What? Okay. If you're gonna pay Jacob Markstrom 6 million, why didn't they just pay Sergei Bobrovsky? Like, assuming he would have signed for 7 mil, why wouldn't they just pay him?
I don't know.
Jacob Markstrom's contract, I think he has 2 more years left.
And he's
Awful the day
36.
he signed it. It's the
And they
reason
got
Tom
and they
Fitzgerald
got
got
Garner
fired.
Hathaway. And they got Garner Hathaway too.
We
God,
love
I forgot they got
that's
Hathaway. They're gonna have 4 lines of just straight assholes running out there.
It's just the fuck you franchise.
They really are. Like as much shit as we get in Vegas, dude. Florida's building like the evil empire
They
down
got
there,
no
man.
that entire like lineup is just the goon squad. It's just the goon
Yeah.
squad.
And
breaking
then
news. Carter Hart to Florida.
Dylan Dubé to Florida
Oh man. Oh,
He
I
got
forgot they
signed
signed that
by the big
contract.
news.
by the St. Louis
Yeah.
Blues. I almost guarantee he's not going to break 30 points this year.
He's not even break 25.
You guys are talking about 30 points. I was talking about 30 games. I don't know if he'll get 30
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't mind St. Louis's offseason so far though. I think they
yeah.
made some good moves. I mean, they had a
I don't know what they've done actually. What have they done?
they got McTavish
Uh,
for two
Oh,
yeah.
that's
first
good.
round picks.
That'll be good.
And
Plug
then
them in with
the rest of
Scotty,
it
McTavish.
is their
Robert
normal.
Thomas. That'll be good.
They got Brandon
Yeah.
Carlo too.
And then they traded. I forgot what they got back for, but they traded Kyrou to. They got McMichael back for Kyrou.
Yeah, that's
I
good
think-
business.
I think that's going to work out for them.
That's good
I
business.
don't think they'll be a contender, but I think they'll be like a wild card contending team down to the very end this year.
Yeah,
I really like that McMichael and McTavish edition. I think with Tom, if they keep Thomas, assuming, and Snuggerud and that the younger the younger some teams get, the just better it works out for them. I think that's kind of the case for St. Louis right now. I like those moves that they're making right now. The Kyrou one was kind of a shocker. I wasn't expecting it, but getting McMichael. Did they get anything else back besides McMichael?
They got the 16th pick, I think it was,
Okay.
which they used in the McTavish trade. So I
Okay.
mean, they got a lot of value back for it.
Yeah, I think that's good then. If you're trading Kyrou for McMichael and McTavish, I would take that. So I think that's a good deal.
Washington has had a very weird offseason, but I kind of respect what they're doing. I mean, they're just blatantly loading up in front of everybody.
It's the OB
Yeah.
retirement tour. Get ready, folks. One more show.
Yeah, we're gonna have a Washington versus Pittsburgh round one.
I would be so excited for that. That might be the greatest series of all time. The Unction retirement tour. Let's go.
The NHL
We got
wants it.
Carlson. We got Crosby, Ovi. We got Malkin. Let's fucking go. The Unction is there.
What about Eric? Wait, did we mention Eric Carlson?
Yeah, I said Carlson. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if Washington has any more unks left because Oshie and Backstrom and Carlson are all elsewhere now. But
Yeah.
the unction
All
round one will be incredible. Give it to
All right.
us, scary.
And then round two, they get demolished by the Hurricanes, whoever.
Yeah.
That's
All
the
right.
script right there.
All right. Last but not least, we're gonna leave it off with the New York Rangers.
Oh my God.
Marcus
Yeah.
Peterson for a first round pick. Marcus
Not even
Peterson.
just that.
Pavel
like, there's
Dorofeyev for $11 million.
For two first. I want to say this, by the way, back to the Dorofeyev trade. The first round pick that we got back in the past draft was from Dallas. That was traded to Carolina, and that was traded to the Rangers. So technically, Mikko Rantanen is the cause of the Pavel Dorofeyev trade. I
Just
have a
another
reason to hate
fight
Mikko
on the
Rantanen. I have a reason to hate Mikko Rantanen.
record. Finally. Welcome to the club, buddy.
I mean, I feel
Uh,
like you should hate him anyway.
Yeah. But another big trade that the Raiders had and for a package that kind of shocked me for what they were asking. Vincent Trocheck to the Utah Man for Sean Dursey, Cole. I'm not Beaudoin. I think that's how you say that
Beaudoin.
name. Beaudoin, and a
I say
2027 third. How Utah fleeced the Rangers so hard.
Dude,
They
and the
absolutely
Rangers were
did.
asking for so much at the deadline. I mean, that's why
They
Trocheck
were.
didn't get moved. They were asking for like a first and a roster player.
Yeah.
And Dursey's a good defender. Like I like Dursey. I think he has upside. Come on, man. You cannot one that's basically a one for one. And the prospect has some potential, but nothing great. And it's New York, so they're not going to develop him.
Yeah.
That's not a good trade, man. They could have gotten so much more for that.
Mhm.
Yeah, they kind of killed it by overhyping him because, like, I honestly think you probably could have got Billy G to chase around that price or dunk a little higher than Utah if given the circumstances. But then they overpriced the shit out of him and it scared Billy G away. So one
Yeah.
seed, someone else, Michael McCann.
Tomas Hurdle. Tomas Hurdle. One
He's
C.
got no. He lost me my fantasy. He lost me the McNabb fantasy here. I don't want that.
Dursey also
Uh,
makes more than Trocheck. I feel like that's an underrated part of this deal. They're taking
Oh,
on a
that's
worse
funny.
contract.
That's
Okay,
so
that
funny. Um,
Oh, and how about the New Jersey Devils? I can't believe we haven't talked about this yet. How about the New Jersey Devils giving
I
a offer sheet of Barrett Hayton like
also
immediately after that trade dropped? Immediately.
so
I
funny.
Year
stays in Utah.
3.775.
I hope Hayton stays in Utah. I really like what Utah has going right now. I think Cooley is great. I think Keller is great. Those are really exciting young players. And I think now they have like a 1C that's pretty good at PK, pretty good at faceoffs, winning the boards. I don't know. I really think if Utah also they have Kosa now, which I think is a really huge addition and another Wiser plan fuck up. Obviously, maybe like really dunking on Weiserman, and he could have just made a good move, a rare good move, and I could be dunking on it. But I think Kosa's a really good flyer to take, especially at that price, because he could be the guy for them to take over the actual starting role in a couple of years and actually turn them into a contender, because that's what they really need. The Vejmelka is good on his like nights that he has, but like they really need a guy to step up and take over the crease for the foreseeable future. I think Kosa could be that guy. So I really hope he is because I think he's a stud of a player. So I'm glad he's out of Detroit and I'm glad he's in a place where he's going to get playing time this year. So
Yeah.
I I don't think they're gonna match that Hayton offer sheet. I think they're just gonna take the second round pick
Yeah, they
because
might.
Free second
it
round pick.
it walks them right to free agency if they accept it. If they just like go with that deal, and the
He's like,
money's
hey,
not
we're not
bad,
going to
but I don't
match
think they
it.
have enough cap space.
They're gonna say, hey, we're not going to match it. You just come back in next offseason. Go have fun in Jersey, my guy. But yeah,
Go have your year.
this has been a little bit of like a early offseason recap. I think starting next podcast, we're going to talk about other sports or like start introducing other sports. Unless there's a big hockey story, World Cup
World
still going on.
Cup, World
Thank you,
Cup.
Zaylor. But yeah, thank you
How
for
about that Paul George trade?
that one.
Jalen
Shocked the shit
Brown
out
for
of me.
Paul George in a couple picks. Yes.
Dude,
That
what's it
was bigger
called?
than all the free agency. What happened yesterday?
That
No, because I
was
was texting my friend in the middle of that, and like right after it happened, because I was like, oh, he's like a big basketball guy. I'm sure he's like aware of this, right? And like he
Hmm.
was talking about how all the 76ers lost all of their like LGBT players because they traded Oubre, Grimes, McCain, and all of that. And then I was like, oh, Paul George to the Celtics. They lost Paul George too. And he's like, no, that would never happen. I was like, well, I have bad news for you, actually.
playoff P going to Boston.
Oh man. But yeah, this has
Yeah,
been the Coast to Coast show. Little off-season recap edition. We'll keep doing more of these. Why not? Uh and hey Zaylor,
yeah.
I just got a question for you. What's your favorite
Oh,
Coast to Coast episode?
the next one.
The next one.
All right, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys on the next one.